Welcome to the final video of our 6-part series on the amazing power of working with the angels and my upcoming Discovery of Angels course. First, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching this video series. It has been so heartwarming to receive all the messages, emails, and comments that have been coming in from other lightworkers and spiritual seekers. And the early access waiting list for my Discovery of Angels course has grown a lot bigger than I expected. In fact, right now, there are more people on the early access waiting list than I'll be able to accept into the course. I've received lots of questions about the upcoming Discovery of Angels course, so instead of replying to everyone one by one, I thought it would be easier to do a Q&A right here. If you sent me a message or comment and I haven't responded yet, I do apologize. You know me, I usually like to respond to everyone individually as much as possible, but my inbox has been crammed with messages lately, so I haven't gotten a chance to get back to all of you. But I love and appreciate you all, and we're going to get to your questions today. Now, before we launch into our Q&A and share more angel messages on how to deepen your spiritual connection, let's do a quick recap of what we've covered so far in this 6-part series. If you've watched the last 5 videos, then you know that working with the angels is one of the most miraculous, empowering, and uplifting ways to awaken your higher spiritual potential, heal your life, and live joyfully. I also showed you that working with the angels is easy. The angels want all of us to know that it is our natural ability to connect with them and with our divine source. I also demonstrated just how easy it is to tap into the angels' presence through our guided exercises for delving into your deeper spiritual consciousness and receiving energy and messages directly from the divine. All of us have the power to get amazing results from our spiritual connection by going within, then letting go and letting God, or rather allowing your natural spiritual connection to flow through the deeper parts of you into your conscious awareness. We also shared some inspiring angel stories from my life and from some of my clients' experiences too. So, as you can see, working with the angels is for everyone and can help all of us manifest miracles and positive transformations, no matter who you are and no matter what's going on in your life. When you start working with the angels, there's no reason why you can't achieve any healing or goal you hold dear, because the angels are here to teach you that you are an unlimited being and that it is your birthright to spiritually create the life of your dreams. You don't need to be a spiritual guru or have a perfect spiritual practice in order to connect with the angels directly. The angels love us all unconditionally and are ready to help, guide, and uplift everyone, no matter where you are on your path. So, if you're feeling called to dive deep with the angels and experience a transformational journey of awakening and divine love, then you'll be happy to know that registration for my Discovery of Angels course is about to open in the next couple of days. I'll be taking a small group of new students to teach them the best of what I know about working with the angels to awaken your divine gifts and tap into your higher spiritual potential. The angels are such amazing and loving guides, and they co-created this course with me so that you could learn the divine mystery of just who, what, and why they really are, how to communicate with them, how to heal yourself and others with their guidance, how to work manifestation miracles with them, and learn some of the angels' most important teachings for humanity. This is going to be your field guide for awakening to the angels' wisdom and making them a central, guiding part of your spiritual path. Now, as promised, I'm going to answer some of the questions I have been getting from all of you. So let's get started. One question I have been getting a lot is whether you need to have any prior experience or background in spiritual practices like meditation, or working with the angels prior to embarking on this course? And the answer is no. This course is perfect for beginners and spiritual practitioners of all levels. You will be engaging in amazing, uplifting spiritual practices throughout this journey, such as meditation, there's a little yoga, breathwork, chanting, automatic writing, and channeling. But you don't need any prior experience to these things before getting started, because all of the exercises, lessons, and practices will be taught to you step by step in a way that's perfect for someone just starting out or someone who's already familiar with spiritual work. You'll also be taught brand new information about exactly what the angels really are. So, whether you already have background knowledge about the angels, or whether you've literally never worked with them or learned about them before, this will be a brand new experience with all the lessons and divine guidance that you need to really connect closely with the angelic realm. Now, another question I have been getting is this a religious course? And the answer is no. The angels really want us all to understand an important lesson about that right now. So dial in. Angels have existed long before our world religions. It's wonderful that many of our world religions teach us about angels and include practices and beliefs in working with them. However, angels themselves are not limited to any particular religion. The truth is that who the angels really are transcends what religions have taught us over the years. The angels are also beings of absolutely pure love. Their love is so great that it would be literally impossible for them not to love all beings equally. So that means the angels have absolutely no preference for one religious following or another. They love you and will work with you no matter your background, or no matter your beliefs, or where you are on your spiritual path. Love is universal, and that is what the angels are here to accelerate for the whole human race. The power of love. Now, another common question that I've been getting more on the practical side of things is this going to be a live course or a pre-recorded course? And the answer is, it's going to be a bit of both. That way you're able to get both live support and a live connection to a community of spiritual lightworkers, as well as be able to access content at your own pace and timing. You will have lifetime access to the course's training platform, which will include tons of lessons, information, tools, and guided spiritual practices. And you will be able to partake in a live online community and live Zoom sessions too. Also, don't worry if you aren't able to make it to some of the live events. Everything is going to be recorded so that you won't miss a thing, and you'll have lifetime access to those recordings too. Some people have also been asking, what if I don't live in the United States? What if I live in a different time zone? Or will I still be able to take the course if I can't fit it into my schedule right away? The answer is yes, you'll be able to take this course no matter your time zone, location, or schedule. The course will take 100% online, and you'll have lifetime access to everything offered no matter your location, time zone, or when you are able to fit it into your schedule. Another question I've been getting is, what if I don't have angel spirit guides? Will I still be able to learn how to work with the angels? And the answer is, everyone has angel spirit guides. Literally every human being on the planet has angels watching over them. This is because, again, the angels love all human beings equally and unconditionally. And part of the angels' divine mission is to guide all of us on our path to awakening into the consciousness of love. So don't worry, you do have angel guides, and you will be able to directly contact them through this course. Another very common question I have gotten is, what if I'm not clairvoyant? Or what if I'm not good at visualizing things in my mind? Will I still be able to connect with the angels? The angels want all of us to know that they work with each individual in exactly the way that best serves them. This means that if you're not a visual person, then the angels will connect with you through another means, such as by sending auditory messages, strong intuitive feelings, or unmistakable signs and synchronicities from the outside world. And hey, if you really want to develop your clairvoyance specifically, just ask the angels. Remember, they're here to help you with anything and everything that serves your peace and joy on your spiritual path. Another question I've gotten is, can you ask the angels to guide my path for me? I don't know how to call on the angels myself. This is an important one. The angels want all of us to know that just as we are all universally gifted in being able to receive the angels' guidance, we are all universally and equally gifted in asking for the angels' guidance too. One person's prayers are never more powerful than someone else's. You have the power to call on the angels right now. And guess what? You don't actually need any special skills, prayers, rituals, or wording to do it. You can call on them by simply thinking, speaking, or even writing the word angels, and they will be with you, ready to receive your every prayer. I encourage you to call them in personally and regularly, and just watch what starts to happen. We'll be covering more about this in the course and getting really creative with how to make the angels a part of your life. So stay tuned for that. Now, finally, several of you have asked, what if I've already partaken in a spiritual program with you before, Sarah? Will we be covering new materials, or will I have already learned this stuff from you before? The answer is, this is a brand new program with never before seen materials. Particularly, this will be the first time I have ever taught on angelology, that is the knowledge of who, what, and why the angels are. I'll also be teaching spiritual practices I have never shared with you before, such as how to channel healing energy, working with your body to raise your spiritual consciousness, and brand new lessons on our spiritual growth channeled straight from the angels. So I hope that answered some of your questions. If you have any others, feel free to reach out. I also put together a video and a page with more information and a detailed outline of absolutely everything that you're going to be getting with the course. So keep your eyes open because that will be going live in just a couple days. Now, just a reminder, you know me, I do want to help everyone revolutionize their spiritual path with the angels, but there's only so much of me to go around. So I've been guided to keep this course relatively small so that I can be there for my students, answer every single question that comes my way, and guide you through this amazing journey. With that in mind, I hope you'll understand that the class will have to be kept to a small-ish number, and spots will be granted on a first-come, first-served basis. If you're feeling the call from Spirit to be a part of this, I do highly suggest acting immediately once registration opens. Usually, most of the spots in my programs end up getting reserved within the first day, so I just want to be completely transparent with you about that so that you can increase your chances of getting in. I'll give you some instructions right now that you'll need to follow to increase your odds. Number 1, if you've signed up for the early access waiting list, that's good news because your chances of getting into the program are much higher. I'll soon be sending out an email with a special link to sign up for everyone on that early access waiting list. And you'll be getting that a full 24 hours before registration opens to the general public. But to secure your spot, you'll need to act immediately once you get that early access registration email. Now, in case you weren't able to sign up for the early access waiting list in time, you may still be able to get a spot if you follow these instructions. First off, keep an eye on your social media newsfeed. As soon as you see an announcement from me on Facebook or Instagram that my Discovery of Angels course is open, click on the link and you'll be taken to the registration page to secure your spot immediately. There's a high likelihood that there will be a bit of a rush to the registration page since there are so many people currently lined up for the class. But if you keep your eyes out for that registration link and follow these steps, you'll increase your odds of getting in. With that said, I can't wait to dive into this amazing spiritual journey with a new group of students and connect with them side by side with the angels. It's always such a magical experience to learn, grow, and experience the angelic realm with all of you, and I'm truly honored and overjoyed that we get to have this experience together. That's all for me for now. I hope you enjoyed this video series, and I'm looking forward to the amazing path ahead with all the new students in a few days. Thank you so much for watching this video series to the end, and I hope you'll make it into the class. Know until we meet again that you are so loved and so very blessed. Bye!